couple of years. Wiz Khalifa. You know Wiz Khalifa, he has a big resume. I don't need to really talk too much about his resume. If you don't know now, you know. But he's been independent for the last, he says, 5 years, a couple years. He's been independent as an artist. And he's talking about going back to a major, right? I've seen this on social media. He says he's going to go back to a major, Atlantic, which he was with before. So that's a big thing, man. Going back to a major, independent been promoted for a good while, right? A lot of artists was talking about being independent because the major's been stealing from them. But this is big because a lot of people were against the majors. That's why they made all these platforms that you could distribute your music yourself. But what I think now, he's feeling the pinch of the dollar because every time he goes out to perform or on tour, it's coming out of his pocket. Production coming out of his pocket. A lot of things are coming out of his pocket, even though he's rich. But a lot of things are coming out of his pocket. So going with a major, you get lawyers, you get a whole bunch of shit what comes with it. So he's willing to probably sign a contract for a couple of years to get maybe a couple of millions because it costs more money to be independent. And now they're signing, like, I don't know if record labels are doing it, but they probably are. Content is king. So being a content maker is actually more bigger than being an artist right now. So he's turned into a streamer. So I'm guessing he's thinking, because I'm a streamer now, I should go back and get a record deal because they could help me with my streaming too. He's seeing Kick, you're seeing Twitch. So Wiz Khalifa is saying, no more independent. I'm going back to Atlantic. So that means something. When he says that, a guy like Wiz say he's going back to Atlantic, that's huge. That's big. That's big music news. People should take this in. That shows you that a lot of people who are artists, they're not really benefiting being independent. And it's true. Just look at the streaming politics. It takes what, a million streams to get $4,000, about $4,000. So he wants to go back to a major. Hopefully that helps him. You got like guys like Drake, he's still signed to a major. So that's a great example. Drake signed to a major. So he's saying, hey, I got to be signed to a major too. Drake got a kick deal. Drake got a steak deal. I want that too. So Wiz Khalifa is going back to a major. That's big news. Anybody who's into the music industry should look this up, man. Why is he doing it? Why is a guy like Wiz Khalifa going back to a major? And independent was promoted so much. You know what's going on? A lot of artists are content makers. You got to be a content maker. You just can't do music anymore. People, please subscribe, like, comment. Much respect, Miracle, love, faith. You can't just be an artist anymore. You got to do content wherever you go. You got to do content. And Wiz Khalifa knows. He knows how to do that. So he's doing his Twitch stuff, and that's how it works. Did you watch Spider-Man Brand New Day? No, my brother did. My brother watched Spider-Man Brand New Day. I heard about it. I wish I watched it, man. I'm gonna do reviews too, movie reviews on this channel too. But right now, Wiz Khalifa, I'm a big fan of Wiz. I know he's been in trouble with the overseas law. They want to lock him up in which country is it? Is it Hungary? I'm trying to think. No, Romania. They want to lock him up. So being independent, it comes out of your pocket. The money comes out of your pocket. So him going on tour with people, you got to pay for all of that. When he's Airbnb, he got to pay for. He got to pay for the studio. He has to pay for all of that. He says, "Frig being independent." And Wiz Khalifa is not dumb. He's one of the most intelligent artists out there. For him to say, "I'm going back to a major," he knows something. And what I see, he's saying that I do content right now. So for me to get more money, there's deals out there for content makers, and he's an artist on top of it. So he wins. He's already an artist, right? He's seen guys like Blueface, who's not even that good as a rapper, getting kick deals or stuff like that. So imagine Wiz. right? So he needs sponsorship. He's rich, but he doesn't want to spend his own money. It makes sense. Wiz Khalifa doesn't want to spend his own money on tour. He doesn't want to spend all that money on studio. He remembers before, what, 5 to 6 years before, when he wasn't independent, how good it was. When Wiz Khalifa was going on tour, he got everything paid for. He was spoiled with it. People, please subscribe. Alicia, what are you saying? Wiz Khalifa, I'm talking about. I don't know if you know who Wiz Khalifa is, but he's going back to being out of being independent. He doesn't want to be independent as an artist. I don't know if you understand the music industry, but for a long time, people been signed. There's still people who are signed to record deals, and most of them don't make any money. For years, they're saying the record labels are stealing from the artists. But something has changed when a guy who promoted independence for a good while goes back to the corporation. That shows you something has changed, because for a good while a lot of people have been saying that record labels are dying. They've been dying. You don't hear about anybody promoting, oh, I need a record deal or I want a record deal. People are doing content and getting content deals. So what Wiz Khalifa's doing is probably going back to Atlantic because they have a deal that's going to help him with his content. Because right now, a lot of new people, the new generation, knows Wiz from what he's doing right now. He's on Twitch. He's a big Twitch guy, right? And he's an artist, but they know him as Twitcher, right? So now he's gonna go back doing some new music because he's gonna get signed back to Atlantic. They must have offered him millions of dollars, a lot of money. They must have thrown at him, maybe all like 30 million or something like that. Wiz Khalifa for sure deserves that money, right? If you don't know who Wiz is, he's one of the biggest stoner rappers right now, or hip hop artists now. Besides Snoop Dogg, it's Wiz, right? Besides Snoop, it's Wiz. He got into some legal trouble about 2 years ago in Romania from smoking on stage. It's weird. You guys invite Wiz, and after then, when he blazes up on stage now, you guys want to lock him up because he didn't give you guys any money. He didn't pay you guys off. So now they still have a warrant out for his arrest. They want him locked up. They want Wiz Khalifa to serve time in Romania, Europe. But it's not going through because Donald Trump is the president, and he's lucky Donald Trump is the president and doesn't give a damn about making him get extradited to Romania right now, right? So, and he's not talking against Donald Trump. So he's good, Wiz, right now. Wiz Khalifa smokes too much, yeah, because he got the money. He's rich, man. I smoke too, but if you have the money, you're right. He does smoke a lot. He does compared to some other people. Maybe he shows us, like he's showing us it. There's other people smoke a lot, but he smokes all types of strands. He has his own strand. He got his own papers. He's in the culture, and he smoke. Yeah, he smokes a lot. Wiz, man, I don't know how he does it, man. Like, and it's some strong shit, man. He's not smoking any weak stuff. Spliff after spliff after spliff after spliff. So the record label, right, is willing to sign him back and probably give him a better deal because he knows his business. Wiz Khalifa knows his business. So guaranteed they're offering him a lot of money. I swear he said he sold some of his catalog, right? So that's what's missing from him. Like, as big as he is, try to compare him to Drake. And people are saying, don't compare him to Drake. If you look on Drake, Drake is still signed, or he's trying to come out of his deal now, but he's been signed for most of his successful career, right? And now he has enough money that he could go independent, but him going independent is different because he already got Stake and he got Kick and he got all this sponsorship, big corporation deals that he doesn't have to worry about the record label anymore. But that's what Wiz wants. That's what Wiz Khalifa wants. He wants something similar like Drake, right? But he just done it maybe vice versa in a way. He stepped away from the big corporation and started to be independent. And now he's seen how it hurt his pockets. So now he has to go back to the label where he was getting money and then maybe get some type of sponsorship or deal like Stake or like Kick, like Drake. That's what's going on. It's good for heart and health. The weed, it depends. What there's all different type of weed. There's everybody's different too. Everybody is different. Not everybody is the same. People, please subscribe. Bring up the likes if you can. Um, everybody is different. It's good for pain. It's good for all types of things. I noticed ever since it's been legalized in certain places, not before it was legalized in certain places, they would tell you, and it was illegal. They would say how much stuff it's good for, how many things the weed is good for. And then when it became legalized now, they're telling you that it could affect you this way and affect you that way. Why didn't they tell people that from the beginning? Right? It's kind of funny, reverse psychology. But yeah, people, Wiz Khalifa is getting that bag. Hopefully he gets a good bag. He's a kind man. Watch sometimes his interview shows. Yeah, he's good, man. He's super cool, Wiz, man. Compared to most of the artists in the industry, he's down to earth. Compared to a lot of the guys in the industry, you could just tell by his mannerisms, how he acts, that he's not a big head compared. He'll talk to the average person on the street, which I have seen him talk to the average person compared to a lot of these other what do you call superstars and stuff. And Wiz is more successful than a lot of them too. And he doesn't have a big head like a lot of them. But yeah, he's good. Right now, this is for music news. For music news, this is big. I don't know if anybody else is going to talk about it, but when you hear a guy like Wiz Khalifa saying that he's going back to a major, that's major news because it's been villainized for years to go back to go to a record label to be signed. Everybody says I don't want to be signed, but guess what? A lot of people been signed are still signed. They just don't talk about it. A lot of people are signed. All the major artists who are touring, they're all signed. Most of them are signed, all of them, right? Maybe beside just Jay-Z, but Jay-Z still has business partners to fund what he wants. That's what people have to do now. You got to do content. You can't just be an artist anymore. Wiz Khalifa been doing content from almost the beginning of his career. These other artists, the reason why, for example, the rap or the hip hop genre sales been going down is because a lot of people in those genres haven't been doing content as much. Now they're realizing they got to be on the Twitches, they got to be on the Kick. That's the only way, or you got to be on your YouTube live. You got to be, even if it's Instagram live. The point is, you got to connect with the people. You can't just do music. Even it sounds stupid in a way to some people, but you have to communicate with people. If you don't, and you can't wait for the interview, for the person to interview you. That's why Wiz is on Twitch. Right now, he might be live on Twitch. Or tonight, he's live on Twitch. You got to do other things. For, like I'm saying, this man has companies. He got rolling papers, he got his own strand, he got a lot of stuff. But does he want to spend his money? Does Wiz want to spend his money when he's on tour, paying for the buses, paying for the food, paying for the hotels, the works? The list keeps going on. He has to pay for all of that. When you say you're independent, you're paying for all that. Even if he has all these other companies, he's rich. Rich people don't even want to spend money. So even if he has millions of dollars himself, going on tour and spending to go on like these shows and put he has like 20 to 30 people who are entourage, putting them in a hotel. It might cost, just say one night, it could cost him like up to almost $10,000. I'm just saying, that's real. One night it might cost him about $10,000 because he's putting up like 20 people, 30 people in a hotel and paying for their food, like and the studio and shit like that, and maybe transportation. Yeah, plane or whatever, cars and shit like that cost thousands of dollars. So if he's going on a tour for just say 10 cities, he's paying out of his pocket being independent. That's how independence works. It's coming out of your pocket or somebody who's invested in you and gave you money to go on tour. So that's why Wiz is going back to being corporate, basically being signed. And when he says he's being signed, he's starting a trend because Wiz is influential in the weed game and the music game. If he says he's going back, a lot of people are going to be questioning, wondering, wait a minute, damn, everybody's going to go back to running after a record deal now. But the only difference is it's not music and you're not Wiz Khalifa. That's the difference. They're going to give Wiz Khalifa millions. An average artist don't think it's going to work for you unless you're doing content. The only reason he's going back is because they're willing to take him back and he has a deal. He's doing some type of business deal with them that, yeah, I'm going to get 30 million and I'm back on Atlantic. And you guys are going to help me with my content. Get me a steak deal like Drake, right? You're going to soon see he's on Twitch now. I'm surprised he's on Twitch. He should be on Kick because Kick you could smoke all you want. I know he smokes on Twitch, but they're more restricted than Kick. Kick you could smoke, you could gamble, you could do all the stuff where I think Wiz would like to do. So it's better off he's on Kick. We got a Kick channel too. So if you follow Kick, if you're that's a more newer streaming platform. I'm on here too, but I'm just saying it's a new streaming platform. Kick, you could gamble on there. You could play any music. They're not restricted for you playing music. So I could play a Wiz Khalifa song in the background, like if I'm talking to you here right now on Kick. I could smoke on there, no problem, no restrictions. I could do anything almost on the Kick stuff. So Wiz Khalifa should go on to Kick. We got a Kick too. I'm gonna start broadcasting from that and the YouTube at the same time. I haven't been on this I have other podcasts. Trust me, I haven't been on this podcast for a while, but I'm gonna start doing more content on this platform. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you saying, people? It's almost 4:20, and I'm gonna roll up soon. He needs it. It's more money. So all the independent people, I want to know now because he's a perfect example to mention this. What are they going to do now? Do they think they're going to get are they going to go back to a record label or stuff like that? Because record labels, people have been saying are dying. They've been saying they're dying. Nah, they're still around. They just had to think how to transform uh, for these times. And what they got to do is they've been doing probably behind the scenes is sign content makers, streamers, right? Streamers. You got to sign people like that, people who are podcasters and stuff like that. They've been doing that slowly, right? So Wiz knows that, and Wiz is a Twitcher. You see the background. Wiz is a Twitcher. He's on Twitch. Did did Wiz Khalifa's mom support him in his music and was he part of any gang? Yeah, Wiz Khalifa supported, he's one of the most supported artists. He wasn't part of a gang, but what I know of Wiz Khalifa, glad you asked me that because I know a good amount about Wiz. Yeah, his parents were in the military. Parents was in the military. Rest in peace to his dad. Much respect. Just passed away, but both of his parents was in the military and they supported his music from the jump. He has a whole story of that. He's one of the most supported artists in the whole game. His parents, you know how if you play like soccer or you play hockey and your parents support you, that's how his parents was with him from a teenager. Yeah, and he got a loan. Wiz Khalifa's story before he got signed, he got a loan from the bank. So he was spitting some gems to some people out there. I don't know if they took it in, but he was saying the best thing is not to wait if you want to do something. If you can, you get a loan from the bank And what he done with that, I guess he made his first project in a studio and polished it out enough to get the attention from a major. So he can't lose. The parents knew he had talent and they helped him probably get that loan. Just say it was 100,000, and they invested in studio time, promotion, and then he got signed to Atlantic, right? That's what happened with him. And he's from Pittsburgh. I'm not saying he doesn't know any gang members, but he was in that gang. Wiz Khalifa's a good boy, man. Good man. Wiz Khalifa's a good guy, man. Compared to everybody else, you don't hear him getting in trouble. The only thing now he's in trouble with is in another country. That's it. And that is Romania, just for smoking. That's it. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Myri Jane podcast. The more you support, the more content comes. I'm going to be streaming on this more often, and we got a Kick channel too. It's new to a lot of people, the Kick platform. But if you're a content maker and you smoke, like you blaze, or you're a person who just, doesn't like to be, you curse more. That's a better platform for you. Kick. It's like how you're on YouTube, but you could play music. Like on the YouTube, you can't play music, else they're gonna, what's called, you'll get a strike or some type of copyright shit. You go into Kick, just say like I'm talking to you now. I could play music aloud. You can hear the music in the background. I could play. You don't have to worry about no restrictions compared to YouTube. But I still like YouTube. People, please subscribe. Wiz Khalifa news. Wiz is looking to go back to Atlantic, a major. He says he can't deal with this independent shit no more. And what that means to me, he doesn't like that he got to pay all this money every time he does a project. He was talking about his past projects. The last one was really, to me, what he's trying to say, very successful, was the Cushion Orange Juice, right? That's when he was the first one. So, mhm. One of my favorite artists out there doing his thing. It's almost 420 people. Please subscribe, support the platform. Wiz Khalifa, if you don't know now, he's doing good, but he wants to do better. And he just put that announcement out that he's going back to the majors. So this is a major sign for any artist who wants to do music, that you could go trying to get a deal, but he ain't gonna give you a deal if you don't do content, if you're not consistent. They're not gonna give you a deal if you're not consistent, if you're not marketable more than ever. So the music labels are looking for people once again. And the artists, if you're smart, you should be looking still for the record deal or the music deal, but you can't just do music. You can't just do music, else they don't want you. You're just gonna be you're gonna have to stay independent. So for some people, they prefer independent, but independent means the independent money. So you're gonna have to sell merch. You're gonna have to do all types of stuff to make money to be comfortable independent. Is being a gang like that where you aren't actually doing anything but are just thinking about killing people is a major problem in America. It's a major It is a major problem in America, and it's a major problem in a lot of places. America has gangs, but there's gangs everywhere, man. There's some more dangerous gangs in other countries. Go to South America, man. It's more dangerous with gangs. Go to certain places, but it's a culture with media, the gang stuff. Real gangsters don't even know who the real gangsters are, right? So the gang culture comes from like what you call the mafia now, or organized crime. The gang stuff you see on YouTube or what they're showing, what you think is gang stuff, that's to me like the street thugs. Real gangsters don't make you know they're gang, like what we call gangsters. You don't know who they are. Real gangsters are guys who own businesses. They're walking dressed in suits and stuff, or they just dressed good and shit. Those people you see who you think are those guys are thugs. I call them thugs. There's other names for it, but they're street gangs. There's street gangs and there's real gangs, right? Bikers are gangs. They do a lot of crime. Mafia is a gang. They do a lot of crime. The cartel is a gang. They do a lot of crime. The list goes on. People just target what's called urban street culture for the gang stuff, but it's more than that, man. But Wiz Khalifa's he's a good boy, like I said, man. He's a educated uh, man from Pittsburgh, parents from the military, so he knows what he's doing. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. 420's on its way, and I'm out today. People, follow, subscribe, comment. For sure, I'll be bringing some more content on this platform. This is Wiz Khalifa's episode. He's done being independent. Out.